start with Coach Nardo and kind of what you liked about him when you came across him and what it's been like implementing his system?
I think he was the best coach available for the fit here at Oklahoma State. And he brings a little bit of a unique style. We can play 3 down. We'll be able to play 4 down. We'll take what his system is. He's been involved in multiple systems over his career. We'll morph it into our defense here at Oklahoma State, along with him and the defensive staff and what I think is best. And that process started, 2 months ago, and today we'll get a chance to see it out here, and they'll go through some growing pains, but hopefully we can morph this into what we think is best at Oklahoma State as we move forward and have a multiple style defense.
Mike, when you were looking to fill that hole, were you looking for a coach, or were you looking for somebody who fit the style that you wanted to go to?
Well, he's going to have his own style, and so he obviously is going to be able to run what he thinks is best along with the defensive staff. And there were a lot of things over the last 2 or 3 years that we were pretty good at defensively. So we don't want to go away from those, particularly third downs. We've been really good on third downs. And we have some good ideas, some things that when he came in, he was like, this is really good stuff. So we're going to try to morph this. It gives us, it's no mystery. We'll be more 3 down than we've been in the past, but we'll still run 4 down. So we're going to try to morph it into what we think is best for Oklahoma State.
There will be some personnel changes, though, that are kind of intriguing, like maybe Colin Oliver playing back off the line a little bit, and some of those things that when you think about that could be something pretty cool.
Yeah, well, with the change of not being as much 4 down, then we'll have other players that are standing up looking at the ball. And we've got guys that are built in that position. Colin's one of them that we think allows us to become a better defense and allows him to be put in a position to better himself for his career both. So we have 2 things going there.
Third defensive scheme in 3 years for these guys. Is that hard, continuity-wise, comfortability-wise, for the players, learning a different scheme each and every offseason?
Yeah, we didn't really change schemes a lot last year. Some, but not a lot. We went through a big transition in year 3 with Coach Knowles. I wasn't happy with where we were at that time, so we made some considerable changes then. Jim bought in and said, okay, we'll do it, and we changed quite a bit then. Not as much last year. This is a change because of more 3 down. So the players are going to have to buy in. The coaches are going to have to understand simplicity, and let's just get good at what we can get good at to slow people down, and we'll try to build on it. But we're not going to be able to do it all in 1 year. It's just not going to happen. I can't hear you.
As you look around for the big club and other defenses around the country to make a change to 3 down?
Well, I did a lot of research. I think that, I'll speak to this league. One of the reasons I wanted to do some 3 down is because teams in this league have struggled with 3 down. And now that doesn't mean, I'm talking about apples and apples, okay? I'm not talking about one team that's more talented than the other, because it doesn't make a difference what you run. Apples to apples, we offensively have not been excited about the challenge of what the 3 down has done in this league. And I've seen other teams struggle with it. So I wanted to investigate it. I wanted to look into it. I wanted to learn it. I spent 6 weeks learning it. I know a lot about it now, and I'm an offensive guy. I did a lot of research. Spent a lot of time with guys, interviewed really, really good coaches. And it was very beneficial for me and our staff because they interviewed with me. We learned a lot. So we felt like that being able to play and compete in some 3 down and then try to morph that into what we want defensively would benefit us in the long run.
You went back to the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Is that a coincidence or not?
Yeah, it was a coincidence. It just happened to be him. Spent a lot of time at Emporia State. He was at Youngstown prior to that. I didn't start pulling tape up on him. I started watching video all across the country for what I thought we needed, what you brought up and what I thought we needed. There's only this many of them that actually understand that system. I went and interviewed all of them, but you can count them on one hand. I went everywhere. I looked everywhere. I looked in high school. I had no problem hiring a high school guy. There was a couple good guys, high school coaches that are qualified for this job. I just didn't get to that point. Once I found Bryan, and he was not the first person I interviewed, he was down the line, and I didn't even know Gannon was in that league. I didn't know where Gannon was. I didn't know Gannon existed. Nothing against Gannon, I just didn't know. So it was a coincidence. And he was down the line by the time I got to him, and was planning on grabbing him for a couple hours. Wasn't sure. I thought it would be just an informative interview, and ended up being 6.5 hours long. And afterwards, he's the guy, best guy. Make a difference where he came from, he's the best guy. So then I did my research, calling all the people he worked for, and he either paid everybody off or whatever, but nobody could say anything bad about the guy as a person and a football coach. And so that's how we got to that point where we hired him.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.